Namaste. I am Advocate B.R. Bornak, Advocate High Court, Mumbai. I am going to start my today's lecture. My today's lecture is on the topic of nomination and transfer of shares and interest in the capital property of the society to the nominee or nominees. So, to explain this topic, today I am going to refer the provisions in the bylaws. First of all, I am going to refer the provisions in the bylaws. Thereafter, I am going to refer provisions in the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 and those provisions as per new amendment, of course. And further, I am going to refer here a historical judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of India in the civil appeal between Indrani Wahi appellant versus Registrar of Cooperative Societies and others respondents. Now let us see here first of all the provisions in the bylaws. Provisions in the bylaws, that is bylaw number 32, it provides for procedure for nomination by a member and its revocation revision, that is revocation or revision of the nomination by a member. I am going to explain these provisions in detail later on as we go further. Now further provision in bylaws, that is bylaw number 33. Bylaw number 33 provides for recording of nomination or revocation or revision thereof, means that is recording of revocation or revision by the society. Further, bylaw number 34 provides for transfer of shares and interest of the deceased member in the capital property of the society to the nominee or nominees. These are the provisions in the bylaws. Bylaw number 32, bylaw number 33 and bylaw number 34. I am going to explain in detail later on. Now further provisions in the Maharashtra Cooperative Societies Act 1960 as per new amendment took place in 2019. First provision is there under section 154B1 into bracket 18 into bracket 6, that is definition of a provisional member, that is 154B1 18C. Further 154B13, this is for transfer of interest on death of a member. See, earlier section 30 was applicable to cooperative housing society, but now this section 30 is replaced as per new amendment by new section 154B13. Henceforth, section 30 will not be applicable for cooperative housing societies. Instead, section 154B13 will be applicable for cooperative housing societies, which provides for transfer of interest on death of a member. Thereafter, I am going to refer a historical judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of India in civil appeal between Indrani Wahi appellant versus Registrar of Cooperative Societies and others respondent. Now let us see one by one these provisions. Now as per bylaw number 32. Bylaw number 32 provides for procedure for nomination by a member and revocation, revision of the nomination by a member. Means there is a provision for nomination, means this is a right of a member to make nomination, stating therein that after his death, to whom his shares and interest in the capital property of the society shall be transferred. He has also right to revoke his earlier nomination or to revise her earlier nomination by making fresh nomination, or by if he doesn't want to make fresh nomination, so by submitting a letter of revocation he can revoke his nomination. Those rights the member has as per bylaw number 32. Now what are the provisions mentioned in the bylaw number 32? First, who can do nomination? and how. Here a member or a joint member, now joint member as per amendment, a member or a joint member can do nomination, can make nomination, stating therein that after his death to whom his shares shall be transferred, his shares and interest in the capital property of the society shall be transferred. Means a member or joint member can do nomination. The mode of nomination must be by writing under his hand in the prescribed form. Now, to do nomination, to submit nomination to be recorded in the record of the society, there is a prescribed form. If we refer appendix 14, that prescribed form is appendix number 14, that is given in the bylaws. Okay, in the prescribed form, whatever details are there, those details are required to be filled in writing of the member concerned, and the nomination form is required to be submitted to the society. So recording of nomination form in the record of the society, that we are going to see in bylaw number 33. Here we will see procedure of nomination by a member, its revocation, revision, etc. So who can do nomination? A member or a joint member. How? By writing under his hand and in the prescribed form. That prescribed form is appendix number 14, that is given in the bylaws. Now, what is the purpose of making nomination? Purpose of making nomination, that to transfer after his death his shares interest to the person nominated. Means he wants to put on record of the society his intention that after his death to whom his shares and interest in the capital of the capital property of the society shall be transferred. Means to whom, the mentioning a name of the nominee or nominees in the nomination form. Now here many times what happens, the members, they submit nomination forms in triplicate to the society, and at society's level, because of lack of knowledge, etc., the proper action is not taken, and all these three forms, they are kept by the society in society's record. Means it is not given to the members as per the procedure. The society doesn't take action. In that case, see, mere acknowledgement of nomination by the secretary or authorized person is deemed as acceptance of nomination. Means the member concerned must get acknowledgement, and mere acknowledgement of the nomination form, that is deemed to be the acceptance of the nomination by the society. Okay, means if further procedure is not done by the society as per bylaw number 33, then also nomination is valid. Okay, now let us see fees for nomination. Now there is no fees for recording the first nomination. If any member want to record his first nomination in the record of the society, then he will have not to pay any fees. Means no fees is there for recording the first nomination. But for every revision of the nomination shall be charged a fees of rupees 100. Means if the member want to revise his nomination and he want to put on record another nomination, then for every revision of the nomination the member will have to pay rupees 100. These are the provisions as per the bylaws. Now let us see revocation of nomination. A member can revise his nomination at any time. During his lifetime, he can revoke or revise his nomination at any time. He has that liberty, he has that option. Revocation or revision of the nomination, he will have to make application in writing under his hand to the society, and revocation or revision or fresh nomination amounts to cancellation of earlier nomination. Here also mere acknowledgement shall be deemed as acceptance of revocation, variation or fresh nomination by the society, and the revocation or variation or fresh nomination amounts to cancellation of earlier nomination by default. Now these are the provisions under bylaw number 32. Now let us see what are the provisions under bylaw number 33. Bylaw number 33 provides for recording of nomination or revocation or revision thereof by the member. Recording of nomination as well as recording of revocation and revision. Now what is the procedure? See, nomination form is submitted in triplicate. One copy is as acknowledgement, another copy after endorsing the entry by the secretary that the nomination form was put before the managing committee meeting for being taken on record, and it is registered in the nomination register at serial number. With this remark, another copy is given to the member, and third copy with the same remark that is kept with the society for society's record. So for these purposes, these three forms are there. As soon as the member submits his nomination forms in triplicate, one copy that is mentioned specifically as acknowledgement, immediately that copy has to be returned to the concerned member as acknowledgement with due signature by the secretary or by authorized person of the society. Immediately this acknowledgement is to be given to the member. Thereafter, remaining two forms, they are put by the secretary before the next managing committee meeting to be brought on record, and in that managing committee meeting the forms are brought on record. It means there is no option for the managing committee to reject. Managing committee, see, nomination forms are put before nomination forms are put before the meeting of the managing committee just to bring on record. So that remark is put on the remaining two copies that the nomination form was put before the managing committee meeting held on date of the meeting for bringing on record, and the nomination form is registered in the nomination register at serial number. That number is mentioned. This remark is mentioned on the remaining two forms, and one copy again that is returned back with due signature of the secretary to the member, and last copy by obtaining a member's signature that duplicate copy has been received. That copy is kept for society's record. This is the procedure of the recording of nomination or revocation, revision thereof. See, once there is a resolution in the minutes of the managing committee, the entry in the nomination register must be made by the secretary within 7 days of the meeting of the managing committee. That is binding on the secretary. So bylaw number 33 provides for recording of nomination or recording of revocation or revision of the nomination. Now let us see important provision under bylaw number 34. That provision is transfer of shares and interest of the deceased member in the capital property to the nominee or nominees. Means after death of a member, to transfer the shares and interest of the deceased member in the name of nominee. What is the procedure? Means after death of a member, the shares and interest of the deceased member, they are transferred to the name of nominee or nominees on the basis of nomination done by the member or joint member. So what is the documents required here? See, little bit technically also I am explaining here. Which documents are required to be submitted by the nominee or nominees? See, as per the provisions of the bylaw number 34, they are to be submitted within 6 months. But even though society can take some liberal stand, but as per the provisions, that period given is of 6 months. So which documents are required to be submitted? First of all, death certificate of the deceased member, means to as intimation to the society that the member is died now, he is deceased now, that for that purpose death certificate of the deceased member. Then nomination form having that remark endorsement that it was put before the managing committee meeting and registered in the nomination register. That form, that nomination form, copy of that nomination form, that is also required to be submitted. Then to endorse nominee's name on the share certificate, original share certificate is also required to be submitted. Besides this, as per bylaws, some forms are prescribed which are required to be submitted by the nominee. First, that form is appendix number 15 or appendix number 1. This appendix, these two forms, they are either or, means they are for application for membership. They are to be submitted as application for membership. Now when generally appendix number 15 is submitted, when the nominee is a major and sound mind, means he is competent to contract so far as his age of majority and his condition of mind is concerned. Means when the nominee is major and he is sound mind, then appendix number 15 is prescribed. And if the nominee is minor or of unsound mind, that in that case appendix number 1 is prescribed. Since the appendix number 15 that is submitted by a major and sound mind person, he himself can sign that form, appendix number 15. But so far as appendix number 1 is concerned, it is submitted for as application for membership of a minor or person of unsound mind. That appendix has to be signed by the natural guardian or legal representative of that person, means minor or unsound mind person. Because as per the law, Indian Contract Act and other laws, minor and person of unsound mind means they have no legal capacity to sign the documents. That is why on their behalf that form is signed by the natural guardian or legal representative of the nominee. Okay, means here appendix 15 or appendix 1, that is application for membership. Another form, that is appendix number 3, on rupees 200 stamp paper, this appendix has to be submitted, and this is an undertaking for no change of user. Means for what purpose that flat has been allotted, that intending member, that is nominee, gives undertaking in appendix number 3 on rupees 200 stamp paper, undertaking that he or she will use the flat for the purpose it was originally allotted. That is appendix number 3. Later on, if the intending member, that is nominee, if he is a non-earning person, then there is prescribed another form, that is appendix number 4, that is also on rupees 200 stamp paper now. That is undertaking by the person on whom nominee is dependent for discharge of liabilities to the society. Because the society is going to admit a person as a member, and that person will have to pay dues of the society. And if that person has no independent source of income, then in what manner that person will discharge the liabilities of the society? That is why some another person must give undertaking and take responsibility that the person going to become member of the society, he is a non-earning person. That is why I take the responsibility, I undertake to pay or discharge liabilities of the society for the intending member of the society. This appendix number 4, that is if required, that appendix is required to be submitted if required. Okay, in normal course, if there is one nominee these documents are required. If there are more nominees, that is more than one nominees are there, in that case some besides these documents some additional documents are prescribed. That is appendix number 18 on rupees 500 stamp paper, that is indemnity bond by the nominee who is intending to member of the society. Means there are more nominees, one of them will have to be admitted as a member of the society, and the nominee who is going to apply for membership, he will have to give submit an indemnity bond on rupees 500 stamp paper in appendix number 18, stating therein that there are more nominees and I am going to I applied to the member for the membership of the society, and in future if there will be any friction, dispute, litigation, etc. between or amongst us, then society will not be held responsible, or if any loss, damage, etc. caused to the society, I will be responsible. I indemnify the society to make the good or to pay to the society. Like that, this indemnity bond is there if there are more nominees. Appendix number 18 on rupees 500 stamp paper. And another, they will have to submit collectively a joint affidavit on rupees 200 stamp paper now by all nominees, mentioning therein that particular person, particular nominee will become member of the society, and our names names of the other nominees that will be recorded after his name, like that, and they have no objection to admit that particular person as a member of the society. This joint affidavit is also required in case where there are more nominees than one. So these are the documents required to be submitted as per bylaw number 34. Now let us come to the payment. Payment here, that the nominee or nominees, they will have to submit, that is entrance fees only. That is entrance fees of rupees 100 per nominee. Means the persons, if one nominee is there, then rupees 100. If two nominees and if both of them they want their names to be recorded in record of the society and on share certificate, then in that case they will have to pay rupees 100 per nominee. Now these are the provisions in the bylaw number 34. Technical things also I have explained. Now the important thing that this concept nomination is a confusion by some persons while working in the society or while making nomination also. So this nomination doesn't give any right of ownership of title in the property to the nominee. That I am going to explain at the conclusion stage of this lecture. But here I will have to mention the note to this bylaw number 34. In bylaws of the society, there is a note, specific note to bylaw number 34. What is that note? That note is, in case of acquiring membership on the basis of nomination, such member shall hold the flat or unit in trust till all the legal heirs are brought on record, and shall not have the right to ownership, and shall not create the third party interest or alienation in any way whatsoever. Means after acquiring the membership of the society on the basis of nomination, the person will hold the flat or unit in trust. He shall not have any right of ownership. That is why he cannot create any sort of third party interest, or he cannot mortgage the flat, etc. Means he will act as a trustee till all legal heirs are brought on record. Now this is very much clear. Now there is no question of confusion. Some persons, they circulate out, they share in WhatsApp group some news or some post, but that is not valid, that is totally false, that post is, and ignore at all, don't consider, even don't read that, immediately delete that post, because now it is more clear that nominee, when he becomes member, he will hold the flat in trust. he shall not have right to ownership till all the legal heirs are brought on record. Now it is clear that I am going to explain in concluding part of this lecture as well. When there is no nomination, in that case, when there is no nomination or no nominee comes forward to become member of the society, in that case, as per bylaw number 35, the actions the society will have to take, or the persons, if they come forward to claim that they are heirs of the deceased member without bringing any documentary evidence such as succession certificate, heirship certificate, or any testamentary document, or any family arrangement deeds, etc. Without bringing any of these documents, if any person come forward and he or she wants to become a member of the society, then managing committee will have to consider. They will have to use their judicious mind. Yes, this person is son, daughter, wife. Okay, on that basis they will have to give membership to that person. Again, this membership is also temporary. Now, as per bylaw number 34, what are the provisions? This bylaw number 35 provides for transfer of shares and interest of deceased member in capital property of the society to the heir. To the heir means the person who claims to be heir, where a member dies without making a nomination or no nominees come forward. In that case, these provisions are applicable as provided under bylaw number 35. Now, what are the procedure? What means which documents are required here? This is also again the person claiming to be a heir within 6 months. He will have to approach to the society. Now, let us see which documents are required under bylaw number 35. First thing, that is death certificate of the deceased member, that is to intimate about death of the deceased member. Then original share certificate, to get the name endorsed on share certificate. The original share certificate will have to be submitted by the claimant. Then here, after getting intimation, this there is a appendix number 16, format of public notice. The public notice in this case, because there is no nomination, and the managing committee should not take risk. That is why public notice is given, inviting claims on shares and interests of the deceased member within prescribed time period. This public notice is published in 2 local newspapers. Besides that, notice is also displayed on the notice boards of the society. And after expiry of the period mentioned in the notice, the managing committee can proceed further to act as per the provisions of bylaw number 35. After expiry of the period mentioned in the notice, the person in the eyes of managing committee are entitled to become a member of the society. The committee can ask them, or considering the claims, etc., the committee can ask the claimants to submit the documents. They are appendix number 17 or appendix number 1 here again. This appendix number 17 or appendix number 1, that is application for membership, means when appendix number 17, that is to be submitted when the heir, the person claiming to be heir, he is major by age and he is of sound mind. Then another appendix, that is appendix number 19. Here this is appendix number 19, is an indemnity bond that is required to be submitted on rupees 500 stamp paper. Here indemnity bond is mandatory. Whether there is one claimant or more claimant, it is irrespective. Under bylaw number 35, when there is no nomination, indemnity bond is mandatory in appendix number 19. Here also again appendix number 3 on rupees 200 stamp paper, that is undertaking by the intending member to use the flat unit for the purpose it was originally allotted. That appendix number 13 is required. And here also, if the intending member of the society, if he is non-earning member, here also appendix number 4 is required to be submitted, that is on rupees 200 stamp paper, undertaking by the person on whom the intending member of the society is dependent to discharge the liabilities of the society, because here the intending member of the society is a non-earning person. So if there is one claimant, these documents are required, this procedure is required to be completed. Then if more than one heir is there, they come forward, then in that case they will have to submit collective joint affidavit on rupees 200 stamp paper that between or amongst them who will be a member of the society, and others their names can be recorded after name of that person. This type of joint affidavit they will have to give to the society, and they will have to undertake the society to indemnify if in future there will be friction, conflict, or litigation, etc. amongst them. That is there, means that joint affidavit is required to be given by all these claimants, all these persons who claim to be heirs of the deceased member. Now, so far as payment is concerned, here also payment of entrance fees, that is rupees 100 per. Okay, means these are the provisions as per bylaw number 35. Here also, as a precaution, some provision is made in this bylaws that if there is no agreement between or amongst the legal heirs and consensus is not there, they do not come to conclusion, and there is friction, conflict at that stage only between or amongst the persons claiming to be heirs of the deceased member, then the society can ask them to bring succession certificate, because they are not coming to the conclusion, there is proper settlement is not going to take place. In that case, society or the managing committee should not take the risk. The managing committee or the society, they will have to tell all of them, we go to the court, competent court, and bring succession certificate. Then only society will do according to the succession certificate. By that time, the society will maintain the status quo. So this is the provision of bylaw number 35. Now, as per new amendment, under section 154B1 18C, definition of a provisional member that is given. Definition of provisional member, because now the status of nominee member, that will be a provisional member as per the new amendment. So what is this definition? Definition is, provisional member means a person who is duly admitted as a member of a society temporarily after death of a member on the basis of a nomination till the admission of a legal heir. When we refer the legal heir, means that is certified by the court. That time that heir can be called as legal heir. Till the admission of legal heir or heirs as the member or members of the society in place of deceased member. Means clearly it is mentioned that the person admitted to the membership on the basis of nomination shall be provisional member, and he shall be admitted as a member of the society temporarily till the admission of legal heir or heirs of the deceased member. Okay, here also it is clear that the nominee shall be admitted as a member temporarily, and his status will be of a provisional member, that is temporary status he will get as a member in the society. This is definition. Then in section 154B13, there is a provision for transfer of interest on death of a member. Now section 30 is not applicable for cooperative housing societies. Instead of section 30, this section 154B13 is applicable for transfer of interest on death of a member. Now let us see the provision of section 154B13, that is transfer of share, right, title and interest in the property on the basis of testamentary document. See this provision gives entire information, that is society's preference will be if the legal heirs or the persons entitled for title or ownership in the flat or property, if they have succeeded to obtain testamentary documentation, that is probate of will, then succession certificate or legal heirship certificate or document of family arrangement, then first preference will be given to the persons if they have obtained any one of these documents, because any one of these documents proves that they are the person or persons, they are entitled for title or ownership in the flat, because this testamentary document, succession certificate, means these are legal documents. Any of these documents, it proves that the person holding this or in whose favor this any of these documents that is issued, that person is entitled to that flat or property of the society. So the society can prefer this one. If there is these documents are not available, then society will opt to transfer the shares and interest on the basis of nomination. And if there is no nomination, then the person who comes forward as a heir of the society, that is as per bylaw number 35. Okay. Now in that section only, the status of nominee again is underlined as a provisional member. Nominee as a provisional member. So see how it is mentioned in this section. Nominee shall be admitted as a provisional member till legal heir or heirs or a person who is entitled to the flat and shares in accordance with succession law or under will or under testamentary document are admitted as a member. Means the nominee is admitted as a provisional member temporarily till legal heir or heirs or a person who is entitled to the flat and shares in accordance with the succession law or under will or testamentary document are admitted as member. Means once any entitled person is admitted on the basis of any of these documents, then the membership of the nominee that will come to an end if nominee is not the same person who has succeeded to obtain any of these documents. If nominee is some another person, then his membership will come to an end, and the person who has obtained any of these documents, that person will be admitted to the membership of the society because he has proved that he is entitled to ownership. He is entitled to title in that flat or property. That is why he will be admitted as a member, and his member will be regular membership, main membership, not provisional membership, because he has proved on the basis of any of these documents, and membership of the nominee that will come to an end. Here again it is underlined, the membership given on the basis of nomination, that is purely provisional membership and it is purely temporary membership. Thereafter, if nomination is not there under the same section 154B13, it is provided to transfer shares and interest in the name of heir. Transferring shares and interest in the name of heir in absence of any of these documents, that is again giving provisional membership to the heir. That is also when membership is given to the heir as per bylaw number 35 without bringing any of these documents, then that membership also shall be provisional, that is temporary membership till any person brings any of the documents. So it is very much clear under section 154B13 again in note to bylaw number 34 in the definition given under section 154B1 18 and C. Now let us see case law. The historical judgment of Supreme Court is there on record. The Honorable Supreme Court of India has given a historical judgment in Civil Appeal number 4646 of 2006. This Civil Appeal number 4646 of 2006. This appeal was between Indrani Wahi, the appellant, versus Registrar of Cooperative Societies and others respondents. The judgment was given by the Honorable Justice Jagdish Singh Kher, Justice, and Honorable Justice C. Nagappan, Justice. This judgment was given on March 10, 2016. Now, let me quote here specific paras of that judgment, because that judgment is big one. So specific paras, and you can refer refer that judgment and the wording in the specific paras. If we refer para number 19 of the judgment, in para number 19 of the judgment, it is clearly mentioned by the honorable court that the cooperative society is liable to transfer the share or interest of a member in the name of the nominee. Here, on the basis of this wording, some people claim in different meaning or different manner, but it is not so. See, the cooperative society is liable to transfer the share or interest. Share or interest means that is just membership. That is shares to become member of the society. That is only share or interest, not title, not ownership. See, it is clearly mentioned. The cooperative society is liable to transfer the share or interest of a member in the name of nominee. Okay. Now in para number 20, it is made more clear about the status or about the right of other heirs, other legal heirs. See, here the Honorable Supreme Court has mentioned clearly that the cooperative society has no option whatsoever except to transfer the membership in the name of the nominee. Here it is made clear, means the cooperative society will have to transfer the membership in the name of nominee. Further, it is mentioned that would have no relevance to the issue of title between the inheritors or successors to the property of the deceased. Means giving membership to the nominee on the basis of nomination would have no relevance to the issue of title, that is to the issue of ownership. Means giving membership on the basis of nomination to the nominee would have no relevance to the issue of title or ownership between the inheritors or successors to the property of the deceased. Means they shall have right in the title or ownership of the property. Further, it is stated by the Honorable Court that it shall, however, be open to the other members of the family to pursue his or their case of succession or inheritance. In that case, as there was only another person claiming on the basis of legal heirship. That is why it is mentioned, if it shall, however, be open to the other members of the family to pursue his case of succession or inheritance if he is so advised in consonance with law. Means the person means the other legal heirs, they have option, they have right on the basis of succession or inheritance. On the basis of membership, on the basis of nomination, only membership is given and not the ownership or title is transferred. Other legal heirs, they have option to pursue under succession, law of succession or inheritance. Means it is clear that by this judgment also that members transferring shares and interest to the nominee on the basis of nomination, that is merely a transfer of membership. It has no relevance to the issue of title or ownership. It is clearly mentioned. This is historical judgment, Honorable Supreme Court. Now, all I have seen provisions in the bylaws, provisions in the Act as per new amendment, the historical judgment of the Honorable Supreme Court of India. Now, let us conclude. In conclusion, as per section 154B 118C, that is as per definition of a provisional member, and as per the provisions of section 154B 13, that is transfer of interest on death of a member, and as per note to bylaw number 34, and as decided by the Honorable Supreme Court of India in the appeal Indrani Wahi, the appellant versus Registrar of Cooperative Societies and others, the respondents. It is now proved beyond doubt, means it is now established fact that nominee is a person who is duly admitted as a member of a society temporarily after death of a member on the basis of nomination till the admission of legal heir or heirs as the member of the society in place of deceased member. That is, nominee is admitted to the membership temporarily. Further, a nominee shall be admitted as a provisional member till legal heir or heirs or person who is entitled to the flat and shares in accordance with the succession law or under will or testamentary document are admitted as a member. Means nominee shall be admitted as a provisional member only on temporary basis. And in case of acquiring membership on the basis of nomination, such member shall hold the flat unit in trust till all the legal heirs are brought on record, and shall not have the right to ownership, and shall not create the third party interest or alienation in any way whatsoever. Means it is now clear, and I think what I have explained during this entire lecture, you can come to conclusion that the status of the nominee is now of a provisional member, and he is a temporary member. He has no right in the ownership title of the flat or unit till he brings documents, till he brings testamentary document or succession certificate or legal heirship certificate or document of family arrangement. Means his status is, the status of the nominee as a member is as a trustee. He holds the flat unit in trust till all the legal heirs are brought on record. He has no ownership right and he cannot create third party interest, any sort of third party interest, and he and or alienation in any way whatsoever. So it is clear that the nominee is a just caretaker or trustee of the flat or unit in the society. So and as per new provision, he is a provisional member. Now that's all. There is no need of confusion now on this issue. I conclude here. I close my today's topic here, and thank you very much.